Breaking: King Charles has just done something no British king or queen has tried in 50 years, and it's tearing the government apart from the inside. Last Tuesday at exactly 9:47 in the morning, Prime Minister Keir Starmer sent a private letter to Buckingham Palace. What he asked was shocking. He urged King Charles to stop all public appearances in London for 3 months, saying it was because of security concerns tied to Labour's reform plan. But when Charles read that letter, he did the complete opposite. Within 2 hours, he scheduled 5 new London events, including a surprise meeting with veterans in the East End. That single decision has now started the biggest royal government fight since the abdication crisis. And if you want to see how this unfolds, hit subscribe, because what happens over the next 72 hours could completely reshape British politics. Here's why this matters. That letter wasn't truly about security. Leaked Labour documents published by The Telegraph on Wednesday revealed the real reason. One internal memo claimed that royal appearances were stirring up nationalist feelings that hurt Labour's messaging. In plain English, too many British people love their king, and that's a problem for Starmer's message. The situation got worse when senior Labour strategist Morgan McSweeney's email leaked, stating that the monarchy represents everything Labour must take apart. The backlash was immediate. Conservative MP Jacob Rees-Mogg read sections of the memo aloud in Parliament, and the chamber erupted. Even politically neutral commentators called the revelations devastating. But now it's become personal. British veterans are watching an outrage that goes beyond party politics. James Morrison, 67, a retired Royal Marine from Portsmouth who served 22 years and earned 3 awards, spoke emotionally outside the Imperial War Museum yesterday. His voice trembled. "We didn't fight for this country just for politicians to tell our king where he can and cannot go." Morrison survives on a modest pension barely covering rent, while cabinet ministers enjoy taxpayer-funded apartments costing $4,000 a week. That contrast is pushing even lifelong Labour supporters away. Patricia Hughes, a retired voter from Durham, summed it up bluntly. "I voted Labour all my life, but this attack on our monarchy is unforgivable. They've lost me forever." Soon after, a veterans group calling themselves Defenders of the Crown launched a petition demanding Starmer's resignation. Within 48 hours, it had gathered 387,000 signatures. Then came an emotional appearance on BBC Breakfast by Colonel Richard Kemp, a former army commander who led British forces in Afghanistan. His words stunned the nation. "In 30 years of service, I never doubted my government's respect for the crown. Now I barely recognize this country." His clip went viral, shared to 0.1 million times. That same day, King Charles broke royal protocol in a way that amazed constitutional scholars. During Commonwealth Day at Westminster Abbey, in front of cameras broadcasting to 50 nations, Charles delivered what insiders call the most direct speech of his reign. With calm but unmistakable force, he declared, "Service to this nation is not a privilege given by politicians. It is a sacred duty that rises above temporary governments and passing political winds. Those who serve understand this. Those who seek only power never will." The Abbey fell silent. Everyone knew exactly whom he meant. Charles never mentioned Starmer by name, but he didn't have to. The message was unmistakable. The king had just implied his own prime minister values power over service. According to palace insiders, Charles personally rewrote that section 6 separate times, removing diplomatic phrasing and sharpening every word. Senior advisors begged him to soften the tone. He refused them all. What happened next proved just how badly Starmer had misjudged the situation. Prince William made an unplanned visit to a military hospital in Woolwich. While speaking to wounded veterans, he said something extraordinary. "My father and I will always stand wherever Britain needs us most." No memo will ever change that. The entire royal family closed ranks. Princess canceled a private event to attend a household cavalry ceremony. Prince Edward completed 3 public events in 2 days. The palace wasn't merely responding. It was launching a coordinated counteroffensive. Markets reacted first. Within 90 minutes of the king's speech, the pound fell to 0.3% against the dollar, wiping £8.7 billion off the 100 by close. Traders cited constitutional instability. Then came the political tremors. 7 Labour backbenchers publicly broke ranks. Veteran MP Graham Stringer branded the attempted royal ban the most foolish political decision in modern history. Sarah Champion, MP for Rotherham, revealed she received 847 constituent emails. Only 3 back Starmer. Overseas, the ripples spread fast. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese suddenly cancelled his state visit, citing scheduling issues nobody believed. Canadian officials leaked concerns about Britain's constitutional reliability in trade talks. New Zealand's parliament even passed a motion supporting constitutional monarchy 87-33. Meanwhile, mass demonstrations erupted across the UK, Manchester, Birmingham, Glasgow, Cardiff, Newcastle, thousands marching under Union Jacks, chanting, "God Save the King," in Liverpool. Traditionally a Labour stronghold, 6,000 people gathered in royal support. Polling data was brutal. A Sunday Times survey showed 68% of Britons believe Starmer should resign over the crisis. His approval plunged from 41% to 23% in 5 days, the fastest collapse ever recorded for a sitting Prime Minister. Inside 10 Downing Street, panic set in. Cabinet Secretary Simon Case reportedly slammed a folder during Tuesday's emergency meeting, shouting that Starmer had created an unsolvable disaster. Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner was overheard muttering that loyalty has limits, and we've reached them. Secret WhatsApp groups called Last Stand are now buzzing with talk of replacing Starmer before he destroys the party. Foreign Secretary David Lammy appeared visibly shaken at Thursday's press conference. Defense Secretary John Healey has stopped defending Starmer entirely. 3 junior ministers have drafted resignation letters waiting for the signal. Sources say Starmer has grown paranoid and isolated, convinced everyone is plotting against him. And he's probably right. Chancellor Rachel Reeves quietly hosted 10 senior MPs at her Notting Hill townhouse Wednesday night. No agenda was published, but everyone knows what they discussed. Reeves is presenting herself as a unity candidate who can restore calm and apologize personally to the king once she takes over. Meanwhile, Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson has stopped attending cabinet meetings, claiming illness few believe. Home Secretary Yvette Cooper was seen leaving Parliament by a side door at 11 p.m. Thursday. After meeting with 6 independent-minded MPs, the plotting is no longer even hidden. Then came the final blow. Leaked cabinet papers obtained by the Times show Starmer was warned repeatedly this would explode. Policy Director Claire Ainsley wrote a 9-page memo outlining how public opinion, legal experts, and even Labour voters would turn against him. Starmer's reply, according to witnesses, the monarchy needs to understand who's really in charge here. If true, those words mean Starmer chose this fight deliberately knowing it could damage Britain. He gambled on authority and lost everything. Meanwhile, Conservative leader Rishi Sunak is capitalizing on the chaos, projecting himself as a voice of constitutional sanity. During Prime Minister's questions, he didn't attack Starmer directly. Instead, he calmly asked, "Does the Prime Minister regret trying to exile our monarch from his own capital?" That restraint was devastating. Even Labour MPs winced. Polls now show Conservatives up to 38%, their best in 18 months. Labour has fallen to 24% for the first time since the 2024 election. Voters prefer Sunak 52% over Starmer 31%. In former Labour strongholds like County Durham and South Yorkshire, Tory leads have reached double digits. Sunak appears like the adult in the room, while Starmer looks like a man raging against the traditions he can't control. Reform UK leader Nigel Farage is also exploiting Labour's collapse. At a rally in Stoke-on-Trent, over 4,000 supporters chanted, "God Save the King." For 5 straight minutes, Farage stood silently, hand over heart, before saying 8 words. This is what they fear the most. Reform's website crashed twice as membership applications surged, and polling now shows the party gaining ground in 43 constituencies, mostly Labour seats. Farage is no longer a protest vote. He's a serious threat to both major parties. The next 72 hours will be decisive. Parliament meets again Monday, where Starmer faces rebellion from his own benches. King Charles has announced another London engagement on Wednesday, a direct challenge the PM can't block. On Thursday, Labour's National Executive Committee meets to discuss his leadership. 3 cabinet ministers are ready to resign at the same time if he refuses to apologize publicly and unconditionally to the king. The question is no longer if Starmer falls, but how hard the crash will be and whether he'll take the Labour Party down with him. Britain is witnessing a prime minister at war with an institution that has survived empires, wars, and revolutions. At the center stands Starmer, isolated, defiant, and finished. So, what happens next? Does he step down before he's forced out, or will Labour remove him in revolt? Did the Prime Minister just make the greatest political mistake in modern British history? Tell us what you think will unfold in the next 72 hours. Share your thoughts below. We're reading every comment because understanding this crisis means understanding you.